charge of the submission of entries. So we want you to tell us to know how far we have gone. How many submissions do we have to date?
Okay, as of today.
Welcome to the broadcast of News Hour on Sun TV. You can follow us on Facebook at Sun TV and on YouTube at Sun TV Live. Now the major headlines. Women rally in support of emergency rule in Rivers. Breaking news, Zamfara Governor Daudu Lawal reveals shocking state finances. PDP governors and senators reject coalition for 2027 elections. I am Messi Juro, and now the news in full. Hundreds of women in Rivers State have taken to the streets of Port Harcourt, but their messages are conflicting, while a group of women dressed in white marched in support of the state's declaration of a state of emergency. Another group, Rivers Women for SIM, staged a protest against the move last week. The recent rally, which began at the Garrison bus stop, featured women singing solidarity songs in support of sole administrator Vice Admiral Ibok Eti Ibas as they marched towards the government house. The declaration of state of emergency has sparked widespread debate, while some women condemning the move as a threat to democracy and local governments. Group leaders Ibim Sementary had earlier expressed optimism to the emergency rule, stating, "We respect the president's office, but we believe he acted on poor advice." In contrast, the women supporting the emergency rule believe it will bring stability to the state. The House of Representatives and Senate have also weighed in, voting in support of the emergency rule. Stand by for a video clip.
We are here today as Rivers women. We are here to thank Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that we are happy that he brought about the state of emergency, apart from which we would have been in violence and in chaos. We want to thank the President for averting the impending danger that was looming on Rivers people. We want to thank the President for bringing us Ibas. We want to thank the President for saving our state from chaos. And we are advising, in fact, I represent women from Southeast Senatorial, where the suspended governor comes from. And I do know how much women put in to make him what he was as a governor. I also know that those working with him now did not vote for him at all. I know that as soon as he got to the seat, he just started looking for Rivers' enemies. I do know that those who are advising him are not his proper friends. I do know that those he doesn't want to work with are his real friends. And I'm advising on behalf of Southeast Senatorial women that you should go back to the drawing table.
Yes.
Go back and talk to your master. Go back and beg your master. Go back and come back to your family. Go back so that there will be peace in this state. We want to thank all Rivers women for their being peaceful, for keeping the families together, for preaching peace. We are here because there is no war. There is no peace and there is no war. Since the Ibas came, we have had peace.
Thank you.
We want to encourage the Ibas that he should continue to do what he's doing. We like what he's doing. Women are supporting him.
By the government at the center, the federal government, to softly take over the government of Rivers State. Do you agree to that?
I do not agree. I do not agree because I've told you now, I've laid the foundation. Other women will speak, but I've laid the foundation to tell you that we have not had a government in Rivers State. What does that have to do with the federal government suddenly taking over Rivers State? What are they taking it over for? What does that have to do with it? We are spending money without appropriation. Is that proper? No. The House of Assembly was burned down and later demolished. Is that proper? No. Government has been running on two trunks. Is that proper? No.
So hold on, man. There's a sign behind you saying state of emergency is constitutional. Removal of elected officials, is that constitutional?
It does not matter.
Why does it matter?
See, where there is an issue, of course, doctrine of necessity will apply. And luckily, Section 305 allows for that. It allows the president to declare a state of emergency. I have told you that, you see, yes, he didn't remove him, it was suspension.
Everybody, elected everybody.
Remember about both the House of Assembly and the executive are all on suspension. Yes. So,
all right.
okay, what we are saying. Let's go inside. No, you have to look at my name. No, it's not fair. Can we be quiet, please? Can we be quiet? My name is Inime Ifeyinwa Chinwenwo Aguma.
That Rivers State is peaceful since the emergence and assumption in the office by the sole administrator. Vice Admiral retired Ekwe Ibas. Since his emergence as the sole administrator, if something has gone wrong, there is necessity for Mr. President to do the needful.
We are united people. Our elders, our chiefs, our youths, they are united. There is no problem in Rivers State. Those that say there is problem, it is not. They are not from Rivers State. A real Rivers daughter, we tell you there is peace in Rivers State. No peace in Rivers State. The people that just protest some days ago, we don't want it. There is peace in Rivers State. Thank you and God bless you.
Are you saying peace is back now and the sole administration should go back?
Let me tell you, I just answered it now. There is peace in Rivers State. The way he came, we don't know. The people that brought him will decide when he will leave. We don't have the power. Let there be peace. If he will give us peace, let him continue to give us peace. Yes. Thank you and God bless you.
Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has made a stunning revelation about the state finance situation. According to the governor, Lawal, he inherited a state with an almost empty coffer containing only 4 million naira, alongside significant liabilities. To understand this magnitude of his claim, let's look at the background. Governor Lawal, a banker-turned-politician, took office on May 29, 2023, after defeating incumbent Governor Bello Matawalle in March 2023 gubernatorial election. Lawal predecessor Matawalle had invested heavily in infrastructure development, security and healthcare during his tenure. Some notable achievements under Matawalle's administration include construction of new airports, road network, primary healthcare centers in all 147 wards, and solar-powered streetlights in the state capital. Purchase of over 200 Hilux vehicles and ambulances, armored vehicles, and drones to bolster the state security apparatus. Clearing blockage in NECO and WAEC examination payment. supporting education and economic well-being of the students and families. However, Governor Lawal's claim suggests a stark construct between the state's financial situation and developmental projects undertaken by his predecessor. The huge liability inherited by Lawal's administration raises questions about the management of the state funds and sustainability of this project. In a recent meeting held in Abuja, the PDP governors and senior party leaders have rejected the idea of forming a coalition with other opposition parties to challenge the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. Instead, they resolved to focus on rebuilding and strengthening the PDP from within. Some notable figures who attended the meeting include David Mark and Bukola Saraki, Ahmed Makafi of Kaduna, Sule Lamidu of Jigawas, and Senator Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto, Adamu Mina Waziri, former Minister of Police Affairs, and Lawal Batagarawa, former Defense Minister, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, and Adamu Umar Fintiri of Adamawa State. According to the sources, the party leaders believe that instead of investing time, energy, and resources into forming a coalition, they should channel these efforts towards rebuilding the PDP's internal structure. They also noted that all parties, including the APC, have their own challenges and internal crises, making it more practical for the PDP to focus on reconciling its differences and strengthening its foundation. The decision marks a significant shift in the PDP strategy for the 2027 presidential election. By focusing on internal rebuilding, the party aims to present a stronger, more united front against its opponents. We'll continue to monitor this development and bring you updates as more information becomes available. The PDP's decision to reject a coalition and focus on internal building is a crucial development and it leads up to the 2027 election. We'll keep you informed as the stories unfolds. We have some devastating news coming from Plateau State, where a fresh attack has claimed the lives of dozens of people. According to the report, the death toll from the attack has risen to 51, with many more injured. The attack, which targeted a rural community, has left families and friends in shock and grief. Eyewitnesses described the attack as brutal and unprovoked, with attackers fleeing indiscriminately and destroying houses and properties. The community is still reeling from the aftermath, and many residents displaced and seeking shelter elsewhere. The attack has been widely condemned by government officials, security agencies, and human rights activists. The Plateau State government has promised to investigate the incident and bring the perpetrators to justice. The state government has also deployed additional security personnel to the affected area to prevent further attacks and ensure the safety of residents. The attack has had a profound impact on the community, with many residents struggling to come to terms with the loss of loved ones. The psychological trauma and long-term effects of this attack will undoubtedly be felt for a long time. The fresh attack in Plateau State is a stark reminder of ongoing security challenges in the region. We'll continue to monitor the situation and bring you updates as more information becomes available. Our thoughts are with the family and the victims of those affected by this tragedy. The Tinubu presidency has responded to the renewed attention of President Bola Tinubu's past significantly allegations related to drug investigation in the United States. In the 1990s, Daniel Bwala, the president's special advisor on policy communication, has dismissed this allegation as a smokescreen crafted by opposition figures. The controversy surrounds sealed documents and past investigations that have sparked concerns among critics who worry about how it might affect Nigerians' image on the global stage. However, Bwala emphasizes that most of these documents have been in the public domain for years, and the court has dismissed the idea of involving the CIA. Bwala stated that whatever happened before he became president is not actionable. He emphasized that Nigerians were aware of these issues during the 2023 campaigns and still elected Tinubu as their president. These are optics, not facts, Bowale said, adding that the presidency is focused on governance, not responding to past allegations. Bowale claims that there's nothing new that has emerged regarding the allegations. He emphasized that Tinubu's past doesn't affect his presidency. Bowale pointed out that Nigerians were aware of these issues during the 2023 campaign. Bowale also expressed concerns over growing disloyalty within the All Progressive Congress, singling out Senator Ali Ndume of Borno South. He accused Ndume of aligned ideologically with the opposition, despite remaining officially in the ruling party. Ndume's spirit and soul are with the opposition coalitions. Only his body is still in the APC. Bowale said. Bowale dismissed reports of a growing political coalition involving figures like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai. He described the movement as directionless and opportunist, saying this is not a coalition built on national interest or ideology. It's desperate bid for power. As made two approaches, a date set by U.S. courts for further hearing on potentially unsealed documents. Attention remains on how the matter will unfold both legally and politically. However, the presidency maintains that there is nothing new to reveal and insists that President Tinubu remains firmly committed to his current mandate. 11 years after 276 Chibok schoolgirls were kidnapped by Boko Haram in Borno State, Global Rights on Monday tasked the federal government to rescue the remaining 91 still in captivity. The group reminded that Tinubu-led administration that April 14, 2025 clocked 11 years of their adoption on April 14, 2014. After their school dormitories, therefore, they should not be forgotten, but efforts should be intensified to rescue the remaining 91. The executive director of Global Rights Nigeria, Abiodun Baiwu, said 11 years later, at least 91 of these 276 girls remained unaccounted for. Many were forcefully married to their captors. Some died, and the insecurity that had marked Northwest Nigeria has metastasized and spread across the northwest and north central of the country. The southeast and south have also not been spared. The Chibok girls who managed to escape or were rescued and returned to their families cannot be described as fortunate. Many now bear permanent psychological scars, deep-rooted trauma, the children they bore in captivity, and the stigma they faced upon their return to their communities, a constant reminder of the horror they live through and continue to live in. Their reintegration has remained an uphill battle years after their return. Apart from the stigma, they lack access to long-term psychological support and rehabilitation. Most of them did not complete their education and had no marketable skills. The kidnapping of the Chibok girls was not an isolated incident. Since the incident in April 2014, Nigeria has recorded at least 37 incidents of mass kidnapping of students, with more than 2,138 students across the country. Despite efforts like the Safe School initiative launched in the wake of the Chibok adoption, little has changed. In 2025, the Nigerian government supported international partners pledged to invest $20 million to rescue schools in Nigeria. Despite promising a more secure future for Nigeria's children, it was stalled for many years. To give life to the government's promises, 140.8 billion naira was again earmarked for the initiative in 2022. Again, there has been little evidence that this had translated into tangible protections for students. Parents continue to fear sending their children to schools in northern Nigeria for the fear of being targeted by extremist groups. Their fears are justified. She further stated that Nigerian schools have remained easy target for violent extremists group, and recent kidnapping in Kaduna, Sokoto and Zamfara have only proven that the country's education system remained previously unsafe. According to a vulnerability assessment by the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, 80% of Nigerian schools are still vulnerable to attack. Only 528 schools were registered by the National Safe School Response Coordination Center, a rechargeable ratio of more than the 1,000 registered schools across the country. We have some significant development coming in from Rivers State, where a senior judicial officer has tendered his resignation in protest against the ongoing emergency administration imposed on the state. Chief Magistrate Ejike King George has announced his retirement from the state's judiciary after 16 years of service, citing unease with the quasi-military administration currently governing Rivers State under a federal-appointed sole administrator. In a strongly worded resignation letter, George expressed his discomfort with the current leadership structure, describing it as quasi-military. According to George, the appointment of a sole administrator has created an unsettling environment for the judicial officers like him. He emphasized that his decision to resign was not taken lightly, considering his long-standing services to the judiciary. The resignation of Magistrate George raises questions about the impact of emergency rule on the judiciary and the rule of law in Rivers State. As a senior judicial officer, George's decision to resign highlights the challenges faced by the judiciary in navigating the complexity of the emergency administration. The Nigerian Bar Association has yet to comment on the resignation. However, sources close to the association indicate that they might demand a refund of 300 million naira. The resignation of the magistrate judge is a significant development in the ongoing crisis in Rivers State. As the state continues to grapple with the challenges of emergency rule, the judiciary's response will be crucial in determining the rule of law and the rights of citizens. We'll continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as more information becomes available. Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, has strongly condemned President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State, describing it as a threat to democracy and rule of law. The crisis in Rivers State began after Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, Nelson Wike, now Minister of Federal Capital Territory, developed a rift. This led to a series of events, including the defection of 27 lawmakers to the All Progressive Congress and an attempted impeachment proceeding against Governor Fubara. The CPP expressed concern that President Tinubu's action flagrantly disregarded the Constitution and undermined democratic principles. He noted that the selective application of the emergency rule in Rivers State raises questions about the motivation behind such decision. According to the coalition, the suspension of Governor Fubara and his deputy as an illegal and unconstitutional act amounting to a coup against democracy. CUPP believes that President Tinubu's decision exceeds his constitutional powers. The coalition sees this move as a threat to democracy and the rule of law in Nigeria. CUPP questions the motivations behind the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State, suggesting selective justice. The NBA has also condemned the suspension and elected officials under emergency rule, stating it sets a dangerous precedent that undermines democracy. The PDP has rejected the declaration of state of emergency and describing it as a violation of the 1999 Constitution. PANDEF has expressed alarm over the declaration, stating that it's still situation of food. Stakeholders are watching closely to see how this crisis will be resolved. The National Assembly position on the matter will be crucial in determining the future of Rivers State and the country at large. A court in Nigeria has fixed June 3rd for the trial of an alleged fake doctor facing a 4-count charge while specific details about the cases are scarce. A similar case in Bayelsa State last year saw a fake doctor, Mr. Akpoviri Jimmy, sentenced to 4 years in jail with hard labor for impersonating a real medical doctor, Dr. Charles Ume. Fake medical practitioners face serious charges, including impersonation and practicing without qualifications. June 3rd has been set for the trial, marking a significant step in the judicial process. The prosecution and the defense will present their cases, with the court determining the outcome based on evidence presented. If convicted, the alleged fake doctor could face significant penalties, including imprisonment. This case highlights the ongoing effort to combat quackery in Nigerian health for impersonating a medical doctor. The Nigerian Medical Association has been vocal about safeguarding the health of residents by ensuring quacks are apprehended. On to Anambra State, the State Police Command has launched Operation Zero Kidnapping to tackle the growing menace of kidnapping in the state. This new initiative aims to bring together various security agencies and stakeholders to work towards eliminating kidnapping. The operation's primary objective is to create a safe and secure environment for residents and visitors alike. The police command is working tirelessly to identify and apprehend kidnappers and bring them to justice. The Anambra State Police Command has been proactive in addressing security challenges in the state. They have been engaging with local communities, gathering intelligence, and conducting operations to disrupt kidnapping networks. Residents of Anambra State have expressed relief and hope that the operation will bring an end to the kidnapping scourge. Many have been living in fear, and this initiative is seen as a welcome development. The launch of Operation Zero Kidnapping is a significant step towards ensuring the safety and security of Anambra State. Governors elected under the platform of the People's Democratic Party are convening in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, between Sunday and Monday to deliberate on crucial issues threatening the stability and future of the party. Top on the agenda is the political crisis in Rivers State, especially the legal battle at the Supreme Court challenging the federal government's declaration of a state of emergency and suspension of Governor Similaye Fubara, who is also the vice chairman of the People's Democratic Party's Governors Forum. The meeting confirmed that the PDP's National Publicity Secretary, Debo Olugun Agbe, is expected to address a wide range of matters, including the push for a united opposition coalition ahead of the 2027 general election. The protracted delay is in holding National Executive Committee meetings and the ongoing leadership crisis within the party. According to sources familiar with the agenda, the governors are particularly concerned about the implication of the Supreme Court's recent ruling instating Senator Samuel Anwanu as the party's national secretary, a decision that has contradicted the governor's preference for Sunday's Ude Okoye. On March 21st, 2025, the Supreme Court overturned a Court of Appeal decision that upheld Anwau's removal, throwing the PDP leadership into further disarray. Both camps have since claimed victory. However, the certified true copy of the ruling now in possession of the governors is expected to guide their deliberations. The governors are expected to be frank with each other, discuss issues and take proactive steps to preserve the PDP. A source said, the future of the party hinges on what they decide in Ibadan. Other key issues to be discussed include the worsening leadership crisis within the NWC, the South-South zonal leadership disputes, and strategies for coalition building with other opposition parties. That's all for this edition of the News Hour from Sun TV. But before we go, here is a recap of the major headlines. Hundreds of women in Rivers State have taken to the streets of Port Harcourt, but their messages are conflicting. While a group of women dressed in white marched in support of the state declaration of a state of emergency. Another group, Rivers Women for SAVE, staged a protest against the move last week. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has made a stunning revelation about the state's financial situation. According to Governor Lawal, he inherited a state with an almost empty coffer containing only 4 million naira.